blah, vampire emergency, blah.
And you wonder why she got the part.
What do you think of the relationship between Pam and Tara, how it's evolved since Tara got turned?
You know, I think Pam has met her match. I really do. I think Tara can put Pam in her place because, you know, Tara's not afraid to speak her mind. And I like them together. I really do. I think it's just interesting. They're kind of quick wit and banter, and I love that sort of Tara doesn't necessarily bow down to Pam. And she sort of is there to sort of make her even see a different perspective because she's so into Eric, and it's like tunnel vision. It's almost like, what about you? What about the world? What about this that's going on right here in the present moment? You know.
But you also get to her soft spot, which I love, because that's what we very rarely get to see with Pam, other than sort of her pining for Eric. But that's my favorite stuff with you, when you're able to pick away that...
Like that scene on the beach.
Yeah.
I really, really love that scene on the beach. And there was actually a kiss at the end of that scene, but it was cut. But I loved that because I love that she's just like, I'm not crying, fuck off, fuck you, fuck off. You know, like, I'm just like, you know, you don't want me to see you cry. I loved that little tenderness that they had there. The waves crashing in the background, you know, it was very romantic.
And Lauren, I was a little surprised that Holly was so quick to forgive Andy after he cheated on her.
So was I.
What do you think of that relationship? Where do you want to see it go?
Well, I really, you know, I'm so scared because we've always said happy couples don't do well on our show. So I'm reserved to say I want us to stay together, but at the same time, I really can't rhapsodize enough about the fabulous Chris Bauer, and really every scene I get to do with him just is dessert. So I really do hope we stay together, but you know, he's Andy and she's a strong woman, and so I would imagine their staying together wouldn't look easy. But I certainly hope that they do keep us together. And truth be told, I mean, the man lost his daughters. It's sort of hard to like hold on to, well, you cheated me when you could, you know, she still cared about him, and this immense loss took place. So it was not hard to get my head around her sense of forgiveness.
One of those daughters was named Charlene, pretty obvious reference.
You can't imagine why.
Have y'all read any of the books? What do you think of the books compared to the show?
I die in book 3, it's terrible. Well, Lafayette dies in 1, so you can tell we clearly stick to them.
I haven't read all of them, but I read up to just after I died. And then I read book 4, I think. And I really enjoyed them. They're very different than the show. So as you guys all know, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Yeah, 2 different adventures.
I did. By the time they came on, they had pretty much kind of veered. I kind of knew what so truth be told, I haven't read them, but a couple of us had the amazing opportunity to meet her. Kristen, who had raised money for her documentary that she was making, sort of auctioned off the Ladies of True Blood dinner, and Charlene bought it with her son. So we got to have, with her daughter, excuse me, and so we got to have dinner with her. You weren't there, were you?
No.
You weren't there, but Rutina and I went with some other ladies from the show, and she is fantastic. Isn't she great?
Yeah.
And her daughter, so just really, really lovely, down to earth people. Like, you would never know this incredible world lives inside this woman. You just wouldn't put it together. Anyway, so she's just fantastic. It was a real treat meeting her, but I have not read the books.
I've read the first couple books, and then I was told to stop reading them because my character completely changes. She's almost nothing like she really is in the books. So, and it was also good for me to sort of not read that and sort of create Tara on my own, since they were venturing off from her. So, because I didn't want to have anything else in my head. But my mom has read them all and is a huge fan of all of us. So.
Kind of along those lines, I read the first page of the first book, and then had a conversation with Alan and said, "Are we going to kind of make up something on our own?" And he thought maybe so, but he wasn't sure what yet. And so I didn't want to be influenced by some preset idea if we were going to try to make something up. So I didn't finish it. But I have spent a good amount of time with Charlene, and she's absolutely the best.
Yeah.
Like, she is just an awesome, awesome lady.
Kevin and Erica, do we have any audience questions?
In an interview online, Carrie Preston had mentioned the the toad of shame. And I just wanted to know where it came from, because she didn't even know. And have any of you ever had to wear it?
They don't. Do they give it to cast or is it a
Yeah,
new thing?
yeah. Ryan got it.
Of course, Ryan got
Take
it. Is that new this year? Because I just noticed that. That's so funny you bring that up. I just for the first time noticed that this year. Has it been going on?
It's been going on for.
You don't know about it?
You know about it?
I think that's new this year.
I think it's new too. I mean, I just
Well, I
saw
think
it
it
this
was going on
year.
last
Was
year,
it?
too.
Yeah.
But-
I didn't see it last year,
But it doesn't happen all the time. But like, your cell phone goes off doing a take, something
It's
like
a big
that.
ass fuck up, basically.
Yeah.
If you do something that's called toad worthy, it means you really messed up in some major
And it
way.
really is like a squash toad that's been laminated, right? Like it's disgusting.
It
It's gross.
looks like something that would be in like a
Yeah.
7th grade, dissection science class.
It was-
kind of
I think it was
thing,
pulled
hidden on a wall.
From
It's
a road
laminated.
in Louisiana, and they laminated it and sent it back
it looks
to
like
set.
your guys' badges for around. You literally it's got a whole thing, and I've seen crew got it. Ryan got it. Oh, if I had been on the set that day.
He would not take it. He was like,
can't
he was like,
refuse
I'm not-
the toad.
I know. It was. You're like wearing this. She was like, I'm not wearing it. She's like, wear it. You gotta wear it. He was so mad at himself because he was so.
Yes,
like,
of
you
course.
Know, so that's why he didn't wanna. No, I think it was a cell phone. And he was still like, oh! He couldn't believe it. He was like, God! I was like, Ryan?
Toad.
Next question.
Hi, I wanted to know about the kiss between Tara and Pam. How was it, and how many takes did it take?
Oh, the kiss from last season?
The very first one when you broke them out of the authority.
Yeah.
The kiss.
Ooh, it was delicious. Delicious. It was awesome. We didn't do too many takes. It was funny. We didn't rehearse it because we wanted to be fresh. So we hadn't kissed each other ever, so we wanted to have sparks flying off the screen. But because I have a little chocolate face and she has a little white chocolate face, my chocolate gets on her chocolate, and so I have a little white chocolate nose and she has a little brown chocolate nose, and so in between every take, they have to kind of power us and mix us back up.
Unswirl you.
Yes, unswirl. But it was cool. It was awesome, and I remember I could hear Alan at Video Village, which is where they sort of sit behind the monitors and watch the takes. When we kissed afterwards, he was like, "Well, that's hot," and we were like, "Okay, cool. We did good. Good job."
Next question.
Yes, for Rutina, do you think that Sookie and your relationship is going to go back to where it was before you got turned, or do you think that it's kind of where it is and it's going to stay that way?
That's a very good question. I think I'm hoping that it gets back to where it was because I think that's sort of where we started with this show, seeing these two girls who are like sisters. Best friends. Have their ups and downs, and I think that there is a conversation that needs to be had between Sookie and Tara, and also between Tara and Lafayette. I think that there's some things that needs to be said, but I think honestly Tara has started to forgive her because Tara's starting to like what she's become. I mean, she's kind of has to like it. It's either that or kill herself, So I mean, she's decided to come on board and enjoy being a vampire. But I do hope me and Sookie can continue to reconcile, and that maybe next year we can have some scenes where we actually kind of delve into that because I kind of almost feel like we touched on it but didn't really quite all the way get in there.
Well, with you and Anna, did you work together very much, developing that relationship, making it really seem like you had been lifelong friends?
No, honestly, Anna and I just kind of clicked right away. We didn't really talk about a lot of background stuff. The writing has always been so great on the show that they give us enough stuff in there that we can pull from. But yeah, we just immediately sort of became just kind of close, and I think that's helped with our relationship on screen.
Next question.
So one of the big things about the show is how fascinating the character complexity is. So this is a question for everybody. Which character besides your own absolutely fascinates you?
Where do we begin? Sarah Newland is one of my favorites.
Sarah Newland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find her so wonderfully funny, and I hate her, and yet I think she's fabulous. I mean, I think she's great, and she's a wonderful person, but as a character, I think she's really interesting and fun.
I think I'd have to go for Lafayette. Like Pam, he gets the best costumes and the best lines. But he's just like, as a character, and then he's so sublimely played by Mr. Nelson Ellis, so it's such a marriage of, which is hilarious, because if you guys met him, he's nothing like that at all. He's a total dude. And so it's just the marriage of just acting and then the written word part that is just perfection to me. But any characters that are so live in their own skin and are so fully themselves, because I think all of us sort of aspire to be that, even if you're nothing like that character, but he's just so in his skin and knows who he is, and I love that.
I think I can't decide between these two, but Russell Edgington and Franklin, I thought were just, I mean, James Frame and Dennis Hare, like, I mean, were just amazing. And they just were able to just sort of live and breathe these men, crazy vampire men. I remember a couple of times I was working with James, I would forget my lines because I was so into just like, oh my God, he's so amazing. Line, you know, like I was just like, oops, I'm sorry, wait, cut, can we go back? I'm sorry, James was just really good. It's just amazing to watch the two of them develop these characters and how much texture they create, so.
I'm really interested in Eric. Well, not like that. But there's something, I've always just had a feeling that there's something, and I think Alex does such a good job with it, but deliberately held back in terms of revealing what life as a vampire really been like for that character. I feel like there's extra care put into making sure certain things are never seen by people. And to me, that just is a big question mark. It makes me very curious about it. Well, what is that thing? I could be making all that up. I don't know. It seems that way though, right? Doesn't it seem like there's something we just don't know that would be like a tender place in him or something where something happened? I don't know.
Well, he's so old, he's been through some shit.
Yeah,
So there's
yeah, and
gotta
that's
be
the
lots
thing
in there.
is like somewhere over the years, yeah.
Next question.
Morning. My question is for Ms. Wesley. Since you are now a vampire, what superpower would you like to develop as you age and become an older vampire like Eric Flies, which is really cool?
I like to run really fast. I like the vamp, just like vamp speed. You know, I guess the power. Flying's kind of cool, but I just like going quick. I just like to just go. I just want to be the fastest vamp speeding vampire ever. There was one time
There should be Vamp Olympics.
There should be Vamp Olympics.
Imagine that? That would be kind of awesome. Pitch it. Bucky.
Yeah, no, we just get him on that. I remember there was one time on set when I had to vamp the very first time, I had to run. and I actually love to run, so I took off. They were like, all right, action. I took off like 50-yard dash, like sprinting as fast as I could. And they were like, all right, cut. And they were like, all right, hey, Rutina, hey, you don't have to really run that fast. We speed it up. It's gonna speed. Oh, you want to run? Okay, cool. And I was like, no, I like running. I'm good. How many more we got? So it was fun. It was fun.
Next question.
Hi, my question is for Rutina. I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about getting fitted for your fangs, and if you had any kind of funny things that happened having to act with them for the first time.
Yes, that was fun. I remember when I got fitted for them, the guys who were doing it, they just told me, they were like, hey, it's easy to talk with them, just forget that they're there. And I was like, right, okay, cool. So when I finally was able to practice with them, Anna was like, okay, if you can say Suki Stackhouse 3 times fast, you're good. And so I worked on that, and I was finally good. And I got to set, and we have these things where we do the scene with our fangs in and do the scene with our fangs out. So there's this switch you gotta do. And it was like one of my first days, and someone has to stand there like behind the camera with your teeth. And then you have them have to come in, give you your teeth, you take the teeth, and then you come back, And Anna was like, I'll hold them for you. And I was like, okay, great, cool. So I'm like, here, and I'm ready to go, and the camera's rolling. And then they're like, okay, Tina, get your fangs in. I'm like, okay. And then I was like, all right. And I couldn't get them in. And I literally started tearing up, because the camera's rolling, and I think I'm wasting everyone's time. And Anna goes, hey, take your time. We've all seen this before. Okay. Hey. I'm like, because I was looking at her and I was going, I can't get my fangs in. And then I finally was able to get them in, and she was very, but I'm glad she was there to sort of calm me down. But the first time Anna did see me in fangs, she busted out laughing and couldn't stop laughing for about 20 minutes. I think we did 3-4 takes where when I came out of the ground, she pulled me out of the ground and she was just like, I'm sorry. Okay, can we go back? Okay. I'm sorry. And I was like, Anna, I'm really trying to do this scene. She was like, but your teeth, you're so cute. So, I don't know, I've had some funny, crazy experiences.
Next question.
Well, I'm from Indiana, so on behalf of Indiana and Gen Con, you all are welcome there, I'm sure. So if you want to do that, you all are welcome. Even the humans. My question, though, is do you guys have any spoiler alerts for next season?
No.
Yes, what's happening is... I thought we said humans are going to need the vampires and vampires are going to need the humans. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with that. Me and my mother.
Really not being coy, other than sort of what you know, they truly tell us nothing. And whenever we do interviews, they're always like, come on. I swear to you. They really, and I think they're, as we speak, figuring it out. So I don't even know that they know. But they really, they have an idea for the general direction, of which I think we all pretty much know. But yeah, there's really, and also, if we did, would you really want to know?
Yes.
You wouldn't really, right?
Yes.
You would?
Uh-huh.
You can't ruin it?
No.
No? What's wrong with you people?
Do you get any input on it? You get to say I really think Holly should do blah, blah, blah.
Do you know this is the honest to God truth? I pitched for about 2 seasons now that I shave my head on camera. Just because it's a bucket list thing and I want to see what my skull looks like. I'm weird like that. And shockingly, they didn't go for it. Shocking. But I'm not going to give up. So if I end up looking like Lex Luthor, you heard it here first.
Next question.
I guess my question would be, what does it feel like to be on set acting and then transition into seeing yourself on TV?
Oh man. Well, it's the the difference between going to the amusement park and going to the dentist for me.
Exactly.
On set, there's these great people, and on set is about the experience you have and finding ways to have it. And that's a joy for actors. I don't know a lot of actors that are like, oh, I cannot wait to watch myself. And I remember the first time I did a movie, this is gonna sound so stupid. The first thing I ever did was this movie. And in my mind, because it takes about a year or so for it to come out, in my mind, everything that I acted, like every word of every scene was gonna be on screen, right? I hadn't factored in the editing process, and that there were like other people in the screen, and even though I knew that's the way movies went, in my mind for that first job, I really thought, well, everything I say, because that's the way I experienced it. So I thought, well, surely it'll all be up there. And when it's fragmented into what's left in the editing room, I A, felt very stupid, and B, my dream was just absolutely shattered. What the movie was gonna be like. And I think I'm at a point where I don't think I'm gonna watch stuff I do anymore unless like a good friend is in it or something. I wanna support them.
I can run with your metaphor and say it's sort of like going to the amusement park versus looking at the picture of yourself on the roller coaster after, and you're like, that's what I fucking look like?
That is perfect, yes.
Next question. Oh, okay. Jim, you were saying that you were initially... You got one more?
One more.
Okay.
I didn't know if I had time to ask it. You guys are all fabulous, first of all.
Who are you?
Of all the seasons that you guys have done, which has been your favorite?
Season 5 for me, because I got to make a mess in Suki's kitchen and be turned and be crazy and do whatever I wanted to do for like 3 episodes. And there was no holds barred. It was awesome. So that's been my favorite.
I think season 2.
I'd have to. I was waiting for him to expound. But he probably didn't watch it, so we can't tell you why.
Why? Well, I guess that's when I met Jessica, and I thought that was a great story. I like that.
Aww.
Plus, Rutina was in the hot tub.
The hot tub. Oh, and the cannonball I did in the pool.
Yeah.
Was there some chocolate swirl in that hot tub?
It was a chocolate.
It certainly was. It was nice.
I'd have to say, for me, it would be season 4, solely just because of Miss Fiona Shaw, who was just an absolute dream come true to work with. So I would say season 4.
I would say before I tell you what season is my favorite, I am so nervous and distracted by Billa right in front of me right now. I feel like and this is why Dragon Con is as awesome as it is.
Damn, it ain't even noon yet, sir.